We all know how, or at least we all know what we have to do to help Ukraine to win the war, because we see that the determination of the country and of the nation to fight back for its sovereignty and territorial integrity is there. It was there despite of the doubts and problems we were having on our part with provision of particular weapons or further support, with debates in Congress about the support package for Ukraine that finally was adopted. So we know this is there. So what we need to do, we need to provide Ukraine with all the help that we can, and on the other side we need to reduce the capacities of Russia to continue the war with sanctions, with restrictions to gain money from the democratic world to finance this brutal war in Ukraine.
You talk about how you need to give the assistance that Ukraine needs. Quantify that for us. Who should it come from? Are you talking about what the U.S. can possibly do?
Well, the level of support so far, the military support, differentiates very much across the countries. For example, for Lithuania, this is a number that ranks 1% of GDP, I think. But you can imagine that we are a small country, so even 1% of GDP for us is not a huge number in terms of actual nominal value of the support. Then, when we compare what other countries are doing in terms of their capacity, so in terms of their GDPs, the ratios would be significantly lower. So there were different calculations saying that if everybody is providing at least 0.25 or 0.5% of their GDP in the democratic world, then that would do a very big difference to what it is there. Because now it looks like smaller countries tend, of course, and this is natural because the ratio, it is a ratio that is calculated based on the value of ammunition or weapons to the country's GDP. In terms of the volumes, of course, US and Germany are providing big amounts of the support, but I think each and every country can do more. Sincerely, just look at what is doable and do more.
Lithuania is mauling, training troops on the ground. What's the thinking behind that? Is it something that Ukraine has asked for?
Well, this is a long-standing exercise where we train the Ukrainian soldiers. We've trained them before this invasion, and this is a long-lasting cooperation between our military forces and Ukrainian military forces. And we train them in the third countries. We train them in Lithuania. If need may be, we would train them also in Ukraine in partnership with other countries who would be willing to do so.
At this point in time, how are you assessing the prospects of a win for Ukraine?
Again, it depends, I think, largely on us.
The war has gone on way longer than people anticipated. We're into the third year.
Yeah, because along the way, we are in the third year of this invasion. Along the way, there were more than needed episodes of hesitation in democratic world about whether we can provide, whether Ukraine can withstand this. We were never in doubt. We were always certain that Ukraine will fight back, and all that we need to do is to provide Ukraine with all the support that is there. But of course, the capacities, the capabilities of smaller countries are significantly smaller than those of the bigger countries. And it took quite a while for countries to think, can we provide a long range? Can we provide the heavy vehicles? Can we provide this? Can we provide that? Will Ukraine be able to defend itself? And we see it is able. In the third year of this invasion, they are still standing and holding the line. So I think it's our moral duty to do what we can. And this directly depends on us.